The mouthwash in your bathroom was once sold as a surgical antiseptic. For decades, Listerine struggled to find a market. Then they changed one thing. Not the product, but the problem. They turned the medical term halitosis.
Alright everyone, welcome to this video. In today's video, we are going to create this animation, but first let's just watch it. So I'm just going to drag it and push it towards here to make a composition out of it. And now let's just hit play.
The mouthwash in your bathroom was once sold as a surgical antiseptic.
Alright, so this is just going to be the first thing that we are going to create, and I think it's just going to be up right to here. And we're going to just create a marker for it, and this is just going to be the scene 1. Now before we start, I just want to mention that we are not going to recreate exactly everything from scratch. We're going to just use some of the scenes from the editor, and the reason for that is I want to skip the boring part and give you a solid tutorial maximum under 3 hours. So this scene, they are already like they have a lot of designs, so we want to proceed as fast as possible. I already have collected the assets using the save object, so I'm just going to bring the scene 001. We don't need it. I just use it only for the sake of getting the asset. So we are going to move forward. I think about here, the camera will become static. So this is just going to be a good part to start the design. We are going to open the scene 001. We're going to go towards the images, and we are going to start with finding the toothbrush that we have in here. We are going to scale it down, and as you can see, all of these are just made with the hex field, and I'm going to just explain to you how it was done in terms of generating the assets. And we are going to apply a key light effect, and then we're going to use a green color to remove the background. Once it's done, we are going to do something like this, which is going to be our mask, and then we can just rename it to toothbrush, and this is just going to be it. We are going to rescale it down, and this is basically just going to be an arrangement of the elements. All right, once it's done, as you can see, we have a shadow. In order to create that realistic shadow, we could add the shadow studio. You can, if you don't have this plugin, you can just use the drop shadow as well. But the shadow studio is just going to give you a way better results. So we're going to just increase this to, let's say, like 500, and let's just decrease the light softness to 10. And this is just going to give you a way better realistic results in here. Now moving towards the next object, and this is just going to be the toothpaste. I'm going to just bring it in here. I'm going to re-scale it down. The good thing is that it's just the same as the toothbrush. So we're going to just grab these two effects. We're going to copy paste it to here, and we're already going to get that effect. Let me just delete this first, just to show you what's the problem right now. If we want to fix that, we have to open the screen matte, and we're going to just shrink that the clip to black, and we can just use the mask around this subject as well, because we only need this part, right? And then we can just use this. Once it's done, I'm just gonna scale it down again, just like the toothbrush, and then I'm gonna just re-scale it towards here. All right, we can just get the shadow studio now, and then we can paste it on here. If you want to get a realistic light, we can just change the light duration. I think about here should be good. And we're going to just tune it down to 200 this time. I don't want it to be super, dark in here. And then we're going to go into the next objects, which is another toothbrush. We are going to find it. All right, it's almost identical to what we have in here. Now you can see that there is some sort of a chromatic aberration in here, and this is a part of a texture. We are going to apply the texture at the end of this video, and the reason for that is if I want to apply the texture right now, it's just going to slow down the machine a lot, and this is just going to get harder for us to work. I usually always add the textures at the end. Now, if we go, we have to add these bottles in here. So if we pay attention right now, let's say we are at the frame 40, which is this one for the camera. I'm just gonna set something in here, and I'm gonna just write camera, so I know that this is where the camera became static. But if you pay attention, 1, 2, 3, 4. Every 4 frames we have a transition. It's for the best if we say like every 3 frames we have a transition. So to do so, we are going to find one of these bottles, which is just going to be this one. I'm going to just bring it in here. Once it's set on here, we are going to get the effects and paste it just to get these scales. And then we're going to just pre-compose it, and I'm going to call it the Mouthwasher, right? Once it's done, we are going to open the Mouthwasher. What I'm going to do is that on here, I'm going to just go 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to just cut it like so, all right? And then we're going to just duplicate this, place it in here for, I think, it should be repeated 5 times. And then what we are going to do, since we already have the key light effect applied on the composition, we don't need to apply it on the main inside. So I'm going to just go a few frames forward just to see the next one. It's just going to be the pink one. Well, to do so, we are going to find the pink mouthwasher, which is going to be this one. I'm going to hold Alt with the layer selected. We are going to replace it like so. All right, everything looks identical at this point. Then we are going to go towards the next one, which is, I believe will become the orange one. All right, this should be good. We're going to just grab the orange one, going to replace it like so. Going to 4th one. This is just going to be the purple one. We are going to find the purple one, and we're going to just again select the layer, hold Alt, and replace it. Lastly, it's just going to be this white one, and I believe this should be it. We are going to replace it, and then we are going to increase these all the way throughout the entire scene. So right now, if we now turn off, we can see that we will also have this animation in here. I just need to go towards the camera, which is the end frame that I have in here, as we have talked about it before. We want to make sure that everything is just a little bit scaled and matches the original design that we have in here. All right, we already, I think 30% should be good. This is just gonna be for this part that we have in here. Now let's go and design these papers in here. This is just going to be also super simple with a lot of tricks in here. I'm gonna just create a new box like so. We're gonna just turn it off for a second just to get its color. And then I'm gonna just get this color like this. And I'm gonna just pre-compose it, and I'm gonna just call it the paper, all right? With the paper layer in here, let me just first create a region of interest around this comp to make our border a little bit smaller. So this will give us the ability to control the layer better at the preview that we have on here. We can just control it better. I'm going to just place it on here. Also, we can just use scene 001 to get the font. I don't exactly recall what is the font, so we're going to just open the pre-compositions in here. I think this is just a paper flip in here. And yes, to Tomcat demo is the font. I'm going to just grab it, and I'm going to just paste it for this mouth fresher in here. And also, let me just make sure that I have used the exact color, because right now the color seems to be a little bit brighter. All right, this looks good. This is exactly like what we wanted. And then we are going to get back to the main one to design and animate this scene along here as well. Well, to do so, what we are going to do at this point is that I'm just gonna add a CC page turn. nothing we can do about this one, except we want to just create a full animation on this one. So this is just going to be simple. I'm going to just place it all the way towards here at the middle. Well, let me just solo it so you guys can see better. And then once it's done, I'm going to just hold Alt and I'm going to add a wiggle 3 by, let's say 10. All right. So this is just going to be the animation that we have in here. Okay. Now we need to work on something that is beneath these layers, which is this shadow of this paper layer. I'm going to just duplicate this layer. I'm going to bring it back in here and we're going to just call it the paper shadow. All right. We don't need this, so we're going to just delete it. However, we are going to add a fill effect. With the fill effect applied, we are going to set this color to something darker, such as gray. That should be good. All right, once it's done, now we need to work on these sort of edges, so we can just add a Bezier warp effect. With the Bezier warp effect applied, I'm going to just try to bend these points a little bit like so. So this will give us something like this. We had to crop the comb a little bit further, but we didn't do that, and it's not a problem, honestly. We can just do it something like this. So we can see that we will have something like this. I'm going to open the scale and I'm going to just scale it a little bit like so, tiny. And I'm going to just place it a little bit in here. Okay. Not much, but enough to give us something that shows this is the sort of the shadow. And once it's done, all we need to do is that we're going to just select the Bezier warps. This is one of the points, right top tangent. And we're going to just give it the exact opposite wiggle that we did for the paper. So I'm going to this time add -3, -10 for this one. Also, we're going to just find this one, which is on here as well. So I think this is just going to be this bottom vortexy. So I'm going to just find it. We're going to just add the wiggle and minus, okay, it's just going to be wrong, -3, comma, -10. So you can see that we will have this shadow effect flickering happening in here. And then we can just use the shadow to parent it to the paper that we have on here. We are going to go exactly on the camera again, just to make sure that this is just in the place. Like so, and I think I need to readjust a little bit in here. I'm not quite happy with the design right now that I have in here. Okay, now it looks better. All right, with these layers are all being done in here, I have to make sure that we are on the camera again, just to make sure everything is correct. We need to go and design these little bulbs in here. So we are going to find the, so we are going to get back, and then let's just also get back to the PNG files that we have just to find it. No, this is just going to be, and this is just going to be it. I am going to call them, water drops. And then we are going to apply the key light effect immediately, getting its colors. I think it's just going to be, I don't know which parts. We have to mask them. I think I'm going to just mask around these parts. And once they're done, I'm going to just press Ctrl Alt plus Home to center those, and I'm going to just place them in here, right? I don't know if they are identical, but this is just, it is. And then we need to go towards this one, and these are just going to be amazing to make as well. We are going to find it. So this is just going to be, let's just find the magnifier first. Okay, this is the magnifier. We are going to find it. I think we are going to take the middle one. So let's just first draw a mask around the subject. perfect, right? We are going to call it the magnify. And with the magnify layer, we are going to apply the key light effect on it. And there we go. We already are going to have it. And I think we need to add a CC plastic to make it a little bit, better. Right now, it's just everything will became sort of hidden. So if you remove it, you can see that now the edges is just going to be a little bit noticeable. Alrighty. Now, once this is done, all we need to do is that we are going to rearrange it towards here, I would say, and then we are going to find the drops, the big drops in here. We are gonna just bring them in here as well. Okay, so how are we going to do that? Let's just add the key light effect first and remove these colors. All right, now with that layer in here, let's just go and select the shape tool, and I'm gonna just draw a mask, and let's just make it on the subtract, and these are just going to be the layers I think we had on here. We are going to, let's say, rescaling them towards here. When they are on here, we're gonna just call it the big drops, right? And then let's just add a turbulent displace effect. And the amounts set on the 50, let's just set the size to 500. And now let's just give it a time, multiply 150, just to give this animation a little bit movement. All right, this is just good. Let me just right now design the background, and we get rid of the preview so we can just do more. We are going to find I think it's on GPG files. Yeah, I think this is just going to be the background, right? I'm going to just solo it. Yes, exactly. We are going to hide the preview. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to just scale it a little bit towards here. And then we're going to just add the motion tile effect, increasing it on the width. Okay, this is just too much. Like, let's say 1000. Like, if you give it a big number, it's just going to slow down your machine a lot. So always keep that in your mind when you want to do something like this. All right, we have it. We have some basic motions in here. And then once it's set on here, all we need to do is that we are going to reveal the preview one more time. And we have some drops in here. And this is just going to be easy to make. I am going to design, let's say, a big circle like this. And I'm going to just give it color, I don't know, like so. Okay. And then we're going to just pre-compose it, and we're going to just call it the drops flying. Okay. With the drops flying, I'm going to just open this comp that is on here. Let's just center it like so. And we are going to add a CC ball action. And let's just set the scatter, I don't know, to a big number. 500. And the ball size, we are going to set it on 80. Something like this, right? And then we have to give it a little bit of motion. Well, to do so, we can, if we change the scatter motion, you can see that we will have this animation, right? So what I'm going to do first is that I'm going to just increase this all the way towards here. And then I'm going to just go into, let's say, crop comp. I'm going to draw a region of interest around here. And then I'm going to just crop it to the region of interest. So in that way, we will have something like this, okay? And then once it's done, I'm going to just go and I'm going to just set a keyframe. Let's say time multiplied by 50 on the motion scatter, just to make them a little bit of animation. Oh, I accidentally got it on the displace So that should not happen. Time. And these are just going to be it. Let's just set it on. I'm going to just set it on 40, even just to make them smaller. And these are just going to be it. Then we're going to get back to the preview comp that we have in here. Let's just bring this comp all the way towards here. We are going to select the drop. We are going to select the magnify, nothing else. And we're going to just place it in here. And roughly we are going to draw a mask around the magnifier that we have on here. We will adjust it once we get that, and then we can just lower the opacity a little bit. All right, we have it, and then we also, let's just go towards the camera where the frame freezes. All we need to do is that now, let me just fix it on the camera. We now need to sort of design this dirt, and this is just going to be simple as well. Let's just draw something like so. And I'm going to just get its color, pre-composing it. I'm going to just call it dirt, okay? With the dirt layer being on here, and let me just center it first and draw a region of interest around it. I don't think it needs to be a big comp in here. We are going to crop it to the region of interest, all right? So this layer is just in here. We're going to add the turbulent displace effect. This time, let's just do something like this. I don't know, 1100. Okay, and let's just shrink it down like so. I don't know exact number on theirs, but then we can just use the evolution to set a time expression, and this will give us that, thing in here. We can just, I don't know the exact numbers on the original comp, but this is how you can create it. Play with a little bit of these, and you can just see that this is just going to give you something results similar to this. And I'm going to just bring it in here, scaling it down, parenting it to the magnify that we have in here. And also, let's just now place it in here. Okay. And if I reveal everything, drops should go beneath these layers. Also, I think the drops needs to have a different colors. Okay, because this is just way, way, way different. Let me just get back to the finding the comp to just get the colors. I think it should be the drops. I don't know. Let me just open the scene. Water drops, yeah. Yeah, these are just all the way off the comp, and the color is something like this. So we're gonna get the colors. And you can just scale it if you like, just to cover the comp. Okay, we already have everything in here. Now it is time to reveal these elements. So revealing these elements, we need to look at the camera. You can see that 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It takes around 8 frames, but they are getting revealed, frame by frame. So you can see that there will be no animation here. We are talking about the toothbrush in here. You can see that 1, then on the 3 frames we have 1. On the 5 frames we have 1 again. On 7th, and then we have on 9. So what we are going to do is that we are going to find the toothbrush, which is on here, and with the mask layer that we have on here, let me just reveal it. We are going to set a keyframe on the mask path that is on here. All right. And then we're going to get back to here, and we're going to just set another one. But as I have said, we are going to push 2 frames forward, another one, 2 frames forward, another one, 2 frames forward another one, and 2 frames forward another one. And we're going to just set everything on toggle hold keyframe, meaning that there will be no animation in between. So I'm just gonna, first, I'm gonna just grab these two, and I'm gonna just set it like so. Okay. And then once we go, let's just select and turn them into a toggle hold keyframe. Once it goes on here, I'm not gonna go on almost on here, okay? I am going to try to reveal it exactly towards what we have on here. And then 2 frames forward, I'm going to just go on the middle. Now you can see that it looks sort of something like this, and this not happening. In order to make that, you need to add another extra point in here, and then you can just animate it like so. There we have this animation. I will now turn off the preview just so for you guys to see. You can see that it will give you these nice collage style that you want. Now we have to repeat the same steps that we have for each of these layers that we see on the preview on here. So we have to go towards the, for example, the next one, which is the toothpaste, and we need to find it according to the preview that we have. So let me just find it, and then we can just first find in mask, setting keyframe on the mask path. And again, we have to go 1, 2, another 1, 1, 2, another 1, 1, 2, another 1, 1, 2, another 1, 1, 2. So this is just going to be, I think, about it. But we have to let me just make sure that this is just going to get revealed correctly. So we are going to go to the first one. Obviously, I am going to reveal it all the way towards here. And then I'm going to just go towards this one, reveal it towards here. Also, we can just add some keyframes like so. Then we can just turn them into toggle hold keyframe again. And this will be the starter animation. And also we again add here, we have to start looking for the last toothpaste, which is in here. I'm going to just press M to reveal the mask on this layer, which we don't have any mask, but I'm going to just draw a simple mask around this shape. Let's just do it with the pen tool, because this is just going to be way easier to control it. And once it's done, we are going to press M to reveal the mask, 1, and then again 2 frames forward, we have to set another one. Something like this. And then once it goes in here, the process is just going to be the same. We're going to just grab these points. I'm going to add another one in between in here and to just push it. So there will be no animation. Once it goes in here, and again on here, we are going to push it all the way up. And don't forget to add these as the, for a better motion. All right, this basic animation on here is almost done. Let me just see. So you can see that we already have the animation and the basics for this scene. We are going to add the camera now, and the node is set on one node, the type, the preset set on 35mm. We are going to set everything on 3D except the background, I guess, for now. And then once it's done, we are going to create a new null object by going into camera and create an orbit null. So this will allow us to control it better. And now once it's done, we are going to get back to the beginning of these layers, and we are going to make a zoom in effect like so. Let's just make it sudden. And I'm going to just do it like this, okay? Okay, if you see the preview, you can see that we already have a zoom in. Okay, then once we have this camera animation, if we go further, we have this syringe animation that we have in here with the paper flip that is on here. So one thing that we are going to do is that we have to push this camera a little bit up to give it more space towards here. I'm going to go towards here, and this is just going to be the almost end frame that I have in here, right? I'm gonna go, this is just going to be the camera 2. We are going to grab a marker, and I'm gonna just place it on here. And this is just gonna be the camera end position that I wanted. What I'm going to do is that once we have this node that is almost starts on here, I am going to duplicate this node, parenting it to the node just to make it work. I'm going to go a few frames backward. You can see that once we reach on here, which is exactly, I would say, let's say on here, I'm going to just start in here, and I'm going to push the camera a little bit towards this place. I'm going to just hide the preview just for us to see. I have tried to recreate the exact movement to match it the original design that I have on here. So then once it's done, I'm going to just apply the standard easing. So I'm going to go towards the graph editor, and I'm going to give it a movement and influence like so. 75%, I'm going to just give it on each side. So now if we turn off the preview, and then once it goes in here, I think we have a lot of elements coming towards here. So if we reveal the preview, you can see that we have some small drops in here. So we're going to just find the water drops that there are in here. I'm going to just duplicate one, and I'm going to just move one here, rotating it like so. And then I'm going to just have a water drop, and I'm going to just bring it, and then I'm going to just bring it on here. Okay, we are just accidentally moving it, so I'm going to just use the key arrows on here just to move it better, faster. Okay, and then we need to have this paper in here. What we are going to do is that we are going to find the paper. I'm going to just reveal it in the layer source project. I'm going to just duplicate it. This is just going to be the paper 2. Also, I'm going to just do the same thing for the paper. Also, once it's done, all I need to do is that I'm going to just duplicate these 2 layers. I'm going to just go where the camera ends, which is just going to be this one, and about here, right? I am going to reveal them, and then I'm going to just bring them in here. All right. But this time, this paper should be smaller. If we unsolo it, we can see that immediately, once we go in here, we have a match cut. Nothing more, okay? So we are going to select these papers, and exactly on here, we're going to just use a match cut like so to reveal them. But one cool thing that we can do on here is that we can go on the scale of the paper. We're going to just select the keyframe, and I'm going to just go a few frames forward, and I'm going to just set another one. With that being the layer, I'm going to get back. I'm going to just turn off, and let's just set the anchor point on here first. And then what we are going to do is that I'm going to just shrink it a little bit. So once it goes, it just goes like this, okay? But I think this is just way, way, way smaller. So even though we don't need this, let me just scale it proportionally on here. And I think the word, I'm going to just find the word, and this is just going to be antiseptic. We're going to just paste it, copy it, and then once it's done, we are going to go towards the paper 2, which is going to be this one. But first, we have to replace the duplicate of the layer. So we're going to just select, we're going to just do that paper 2. And once it's on there, I am going to replace it with these 2 layers on here. And then we are going to go inside of this layer, and we're going to just, okay, we're going to get that word antiseptic, and we're going to just paste it on here. And there we're going to just have these animations on here. Let me just see, turn off the preview and everything just for us to get the original results that we had on here. Okay, I think the preview is turned on. This is why it's not looking good. Okay, once this is done, all we need to do is that we are going to bring this syringe in here and do the syringe animation. Well, one thing that we are going to do is that we need to find the syringe animation. I think I'm going to just speed this process up and show it to you with the scene, because the scene is already getting too long. We are going to, let me just find this syringe in here so I can just show it to you how it was done. It's just basically super simple. It's just masks and one wave warp effect. So we're going to just open the injection, and this is just going to be injection in here. And let me just show it to you how it's done. So basically what the designer did at the first step is that he started to bring the asset and pre-compose it. So this is just going to be the entire thing. And then once it was pre-comped, the first thing that he did was to make a mask around the subject. So this is just going to be the first layer, which is going to be the top of the injection syringe. So the way it does, as you can see, if you pay attention, on the original shape is a little bit smaller. So he used the scale to scale it a little bit proportionally, then drew a mask around it. Then we have the base of this layer on top of it, which is just showing it that goes inside. And once it's done, we already have the body of the syringe, which is using it as a track mat for the layer that we have in here, which is simply a rectangle with a wave warp effect applied on it. So this is just a wave warp and simply getting revealed and losing its wave warp. And on top of that, we have again the body just shows on top of water just to make this work. So this is just gonna be the entire animation. I didn't just start to do it with the boring masking part. So we can just use the injection right now, and bring it exactly towards the preview that we have on here. So if we go on here, I think we need to bring the injection, and we can just set it on 3D and then rescaling it. And according to the preview, I think it should, where does it start? We want to find the animation. I think it starts exactly on here. So we're going to just push it all the way up. And rotate it like so. So now if we pay attention to the preview that we have on here, you can see that. Let me just bring the injection. We can see that on the one that it goes on here, we have to create a sort of rotation and position keyframes. So once it's almost, like I would say, in here, we are going to start with a rotation and a position keyframes. And once it's set on here, we're going to just set another one, right? And then I'm going to just rotate it back like so. And I'm going to just push it up like so as well. And then once it's reached, it just goes like this. And then we are going to have the reveal. So we're going to just give it the influence that we want. We are going to just select each of these layers, working on this position layer. And you can see that as soon as it goes on here and does that, we will have this transition happening in here and the scene will end. So let me just show everything except this, so we can just see how it was made. We already made this, and then it will transition towards here. The transition is just super bad. We need to work on the injections and how it should get revealed. So I'm going to just give it a little bit more time. I'm not going to just reveal it on here. Let's just go. Okay, this is just going to be better. But one thing that we forgot is that once we reach in there, we're going to just use a zoom in position on this layer as well. So we can just go in further and we can just zoom in to the layer like so, giving it an influence like this, okay? And then once it draws, we have to, I think about here, when it's just revealing, we will have the transitions. And the transition is just going to be super simple. I'm going to just tell you how you can just make it. So if we just reveal the preview, just for the sake of showing you, you can see that again at the minimal, when we almost reach on here, we will have it. So let me just show to you how this transition is done on the scene. So basically, if we go towards the scenes, you can see that the editor has a hexagon, pentagon, square, and triangle. So these are just basically simple shapes. You can just make it by going into your polygon tool, and you can use the down or up arrow keys to create these hexagon, pentagons, and everything else. Once you have done that, because this needs to be coloring right now, you have to offset them by 2 frames, and you have to add a simple scale keyframes. So as you can see, every single of these layers are just having a scale keyframe going from 0 all the way to cover the entire canvas that we have in here. But these are just basically shapes, and each one of these shapes are getting revealed exactly at, at a difference of 1 or 2, 3 frames per second. Once this is done, let's say this scene is done, I'm gonna just copy this. Due to the sponsor contract, this is as far as I can get with this video. If you want to watch the full tutorial, please check out the EarnEdits website.